Good.
Fine.
How you guys doing?
Good, good, good. First, we'll start with you. Basically, recap for us what happened in there. It didn't sound like it went well.
Long and Herbison's of record. Their motion to determine the status of Long and Herbison has been resolved that we're of record. It's conceded that we have appeared by a method that is permitted pursuant to local rules of practice. They've asked us, basically the state is saying, well, you've got a motion pending to admit Gene Osco pro hoc vici, file one for Albert Perez, and we don't anticipate opposing it, but let's put it back on for the same day. At some point, it's like watching two mules fight over a turnip in a sack. I mean, what's the point? So if the remedy, if the easy fix is to just file the motion and have him readmitted under Long and Herbison's sponsorship pro hoc vici, then what are we arguing about? I mean, that's kind of what it came down to.
Well, it seems like the proper paperwork wasn't filed, or you went a different avenue when all you needed to do was ask to be his official sponsors.
Well, not technically. Technically, they're claiming that under Rule 19, that when the sponsorship of King and Colburn, when they were allowed to withdraw, that sponsorship constituted a cessation, and that we would have had to have appeared by agreed order to appear, and also including in that we were renewing the sponsorship. Y'all may recall that when we appeared verbally in court way back last year, we did include an oral announcement that we would be assuming the sponsorship of the California Council at that time. So this is any case, criminal or civil or otherwise, has a degree of teething, and this is part of the teething process. The judge may have preferred that we appear by that agreed order that he noted. However, we appeared by one of the acceptable methods that Rule 5 of the local rules of practice allows for practitioners in the Nashville and Davidson County courts. And now we're going to file a motion similar to the one we have filed for Judge Osco for Mr. Perez, and the government has indicated on the record that they don't anticipate opposing it, which in some ways it went very well.
Now, what about the fact that they...
Because if you will remember, there was a time when General Thurman said in open court that he was going to vigorously oppose the appearance of Judge Osco. If you will recall, he said that the last time. I'm sure you've got tape, you can play it. So the fact that they're at a position now where they indicate to the court that they don't intend to oppose the appearance pro hoc vici of Judge Osco, I would say it went well. And I don't anticipate they will... Their argument against Mr. Perez was rather semantic.
Well, they said that he was accused of helping to destroy evidence and called him an unindicted co-conspirator.
Well, they did the last time, but they didn't say any of that today. I mean, that is what we anticipated would be tried today. That is what we came in from California. That is what we brought witnesses in order to rebut that we have on call and ready to be here. That's what we thought was to be tried today. We got here and learned that that was not what the government intended to try today. And so we'll see. I really think at this point that all of this machination is rather pointless. I think we need to proceed on to trial and let this case run the normal course. I think a lot of the things, the jostling and jousting around is really it's rather pointless.
Yeah, these mini trials before the trial, if you will.
Correct, and it's all rather pointless, and maybe it bespeaks of maybe what they think of their own case.
All right, can we direct just a question, Mr. Perez?
Sure.
How do you feel? I mean, some of the language they've used, saying that you destroyed or tampered with evidence. Quinzio and Finley were going to testify against you, that you were an unindicted co-conspirator. I mean, that's strong language against a lawyer.
It is. It's unfortunate. It's lies. It's a bunch of baloney. I mean, if Mr. Thurman would have been true to everybody here and given the facts, he would have said, I'm a liar. Not me, but he's a liar. He's 100% lying about this. And I wish he was here today. We came ready for his accusations, and he's not here.
If I may add, when it came time for the state to actually present evidence in favor of what it alleged on paper. The state desperately sought to change the subject, and they've temporarily succeeded in changing the subject. We hope that they will abandon the scurrilous allegations they've made about Mr. Perez.
To this day, I still don't know what they're saying I did, other than two criminals who never said anything about me until they were indicted and threatened with prison. And then all of a sudden my name sparks up. That's part of this whole government ploy. And I keep telling Mr. Long and Mr. Herberson, I just want to defend someone who I feel is factually innocent in this matter. And if that's so wrong, then Mr. Thurman has no place in prosecuting cases. Neither does Mr. Johnson. They should be, I'm glad he's retiring because he's not living up to the oath of his office. Justice. This is not justice. This is not justice. And I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed the way Tennessee is treating people here. This is crazy.
Do you know Quinzio and Finley? Do you know those gentlemen even?
I know who they are. You know, and I came with a book because they are full of lies. They've lied and they've lied and they've lied. And this is wrong. This is wrong.
What is this book here? I mean, is
impeachment of their testimony because they're not being truthful.
I mean, that's huge. What?
It is. We got DVDs.
It's a veritable cornucopia of lies.
And that's what we came here prepared to try, what we understood the judge to have set for hearing.
Was Vandenberg going to be on the stand? We'd heard he might have to testify in this.
If there were allegations, if there were evidence presented of a potential conflict of interest, then the defendant ordinarily testifies to express on the record as to who he wishes to have represent him. I had anticipated that would happen today.
And that's limited to the scope of this proceeding. It is not a wide-ranging, it's not a waiver of his right to remain silent should he insist on asserting that right at a future time.
He was prepared to testify as who he desired to represent him.
Okay. This just sounds like a hot mess.
It's a hot mess. It's a lying hot mess. That's what it is.
At some point, we're going to get down to defending the actual facts of the case. At some point, I am hoping, maybe it is my naivete, but I'm hoping at some point we're going to get down to what happened in a room on a certain night in Davidson County, Tennessee, and that we're going to quit with all of this jousting and jockeying and machinations and accusations and ridiculousness.
Okay, what's next? What happens next? When do you file your next thing? What happens next?
Well, we'll file a motion to, Long and Herberson is pleased to file a motion to sponsor the appearance pro hoc vici of Albert Perez in this case, and we're going to be pleased to do so. And we will probably set that on at the same time as the court will take up the matter of Judge Osco. And I think the government has been clear, and I appreciate their candor, that they don't anticipate opposing either of these applications.
And this is costing a lot of time and money, I would imagine. You're from California, you're flying back and forth.
Absolutely. We brought witnesses with us. Mr. Vandenberg had to come. He's a 20-year-old student. And I had to take away from my office. I had to put off a trial I was going to start. It took a lot. It took a lot of preparation, 50 hours to prepare for what I anticipated was a evidentiary hearing today. So I'm disappointed that we couldn't go forward in that. But, I understand the judge follows the rules, and Mr. Herberson and Mr. Long are going to file the appropriate paperwork, and we'll move on and get to the bottom of this case.
Okay, very good, sir. Thank you all very much. We
Sure.
appreciate your time. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I know.